Good afternoon. It is March 3rd, 2026, and today we had a reversal day. So we had a huge bear bar and it reversed. So, I've been saying that throughout these past few weeks, the average bar size has been about 90 points. And so today we get this tremendous sell off of about 150 or 160 points. So that's something to think about. I'm going to look at the 6500 tick chart just because there's so much uh, to look at. So, if you're in, I want to say this is what is this the European session before or the Asian session? I'm not sure, but this is the easiest trading imaginable. Obviously, you just sell this, but I'm in the United States, so I'd probably come in around 4 a.m. and even here, this is worth considering buying because you already have the daily limit. Let's say it started here, which I think is, yeah, that's about where the bar started. So 68.84, 84. So at that point, you're already at a 140 point move. So let's make this larger. Are there reasons to buy this? Yeah, you could argue for maybe you could argue that it's a sort of wedge bottom, one push, two push, three push. Um, but your entry on this chart is not good because you'd probably buy like maybe the close here. So nothing really happening. And then we start going sideways. You get this double bottom. Maybe you consider buying that, but you got to understand that the bias is down. The bias is definitely down. So we've found resistance here a few times. So you could definitely consider this one. That looks to me like a second leg trap in a range. First leg, uh, and then a second stronger leg. Plenty of room back to the EMA. That looks pretty good. And that forms a spike and channel down. And now we're back below the EMA, and prices are holding below the EMA. So you need to understand that the bias is down. So you want to be careful because it could it could slingshot just the way it happened today. But you know, you don't want to get caught going long on a day like this or a day like this or a day like this. Um, so you just got to be aware of that. Because it could keep going down. But look, we get this sell off. This is a bear channel. The overshoot wasn't very strong. You hit a measured move of the range that I had drawn. You just get some dojis, and then you get some buying to the top of this bear channel, and we get a break of the bear channel, and then we go a little bit lower, and then we rock it up. And so, uh, I think it's reasonable to get short in here, like a double top. I think it's reasonable to get short here, again, testing that level of resistance. Uh, and I didn't really like going long until I was actually looking at the 17,000 tick chart. And when we got a close of this bull bar here, that's when I was like, all right, I think this thing is about to slingshot. And that's what it did. So, I mean, you could consider, going long here, or just waiting for this pullback. And I mean, I don't think you want to get short now because I'd be looking for prices to test this price level. And there's body gaps here. So the bodies of these pullbacks didn't close below uh, this bear body, the open of this bear body. So honestly, the setups aren't great on this chart. And then here we had a range. And so if you think this thing's going to keep going up, not really a whole lot of argument for it going down at this point. But, if you think it's going to keep going up, you could buy there. And get a breakout pullback. You could consider this. I mean, it's a pretty strong move. Not the greatest entry. And that really takes us to the end of the day. That was a strong move. And again, the 6,500 tick chart doesn't really do it justice the way, when we got this move on the 17,000 tick chart, that was just a very, very strong move up. Um, you can see 3 very strong bull bars, runs into some resistance at this potential trend line, and then it just keeps going. I thought this would be a buy climax, and they just couldn't do a dang thing. You see a little body gap right there. Um, so yeah, the bears are struggling to break out to the low side. We'll have to see what happens in the next few days. Hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.